This is Barry Zalma speaking for Claim School Incorporated's newsletter, Zalma's Insurance Fraud Letter, for June 15, 2023. This Volume 27, Issue 12, continues to be the source for insurance fraud professionals. And in its 27th year of publication, Zalma's Insurance Letter provides multiple articles on how to deal with insurance fraud in the United States. The issue begins with an article entitled Restitution Order Cannot Be Discharged in Bankruptcy, and explains why Frayba Tipton and William Tipton, who had pled guilty to committing insurance fraud, were ordered to pay victim restitution to Nationwide Insurance Company of America. Nationwide obtained a civil judgment and an award of over $1,200,000 in civil litigation against the Tiptons, only to have the judgment discharged in bankruptcy. Nationwide then petitioned the trial court to convert the criminal restitution orders to civil judgments against both defendants. The trial court granted Nationwide's petition and entered civil judgments against the defendants in Nationwide versus Tipton, a May 26, 2023 decision of the California Court of Appeal, where the court agreed that the restitution order could be made collectible as a civil judgment and not subject to discharge in bankruptcy. You can read the entire article and the full issue of Zalma's Insurance Fraud Letter at the link shown in the blog post. Then there's an article of more McClenny, Moseley Associates issues. In this, the 8th installment of the saga of McClenny, Moseley Associates and its problems with the federal courts in the state of Louisiana, and what appears to be an effort to profit from what some magistrate and district judges indicate may be criminal conduct to profit from insurance claims relating to hurricane damage to the public of the state of Louisiana. You can read the full article at the link in the blog post. Then there's an article about another insurer biting the dust, where Nevada Insurance Commissioner petitions to place Frayba Health in receivership. Frayba Health Plans of Nevada fell afoul of the Nevada Insurance Commissioner Scott Kipper, who filed legal action with the Nevada District Court to place it under regulatory supervision. Then there is an article about bad news from the public, where a new survey shows it's like totally cool to exaggerate damages on an insurance claim, or like totally awesome to say you hurt yourself at work when you didn't. See the full issue and read the article at the blog post and at the link in the blog post. Then there's an article of health insurance fraud convictions, including a 15-year sentence in a $134 million COVID-19 healthcare fraud and money laundering scheme, where Billy Joe Taylor, aged 44, pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit healthcare fraud and money laundering on October 27, 2022. According to court documents, Taylor and his co-conspirators submitted more than $134 million in false and fraudulent claims to Medicare in connection with diagnostic laboratory testing, including urine drug testing and tests for respiratory illnesses during the COVID-19 pandemic that were medically unnecessary, not ordered by medical providers, and not provided as represented. You can read the full article at the link in the blog post. Then there's an article about why a Florida judge slammed SFR contractor for misrepresentation, fraud in the Tower Hill case, where SFR R Services, a Florida restoration firm made famous by its volume of claims litigation and its charges that United Property and Casualty Company had instructed desk adjusters to alter their estimates, now finds itself in legal trouble of its own. You can read the full article at the link in the blog post. Then there's an article of other insurance fraud convictions other than health insurance, where a man was sentenced to prison for staged arson and insurance fraud. Denis Vladimirovich Mola falsely reported to the Brooklyn Center Police Department that his camper had been intentionally set on fire. The 30-year-old Minnesota resident has been handed a 30-month prison sentence followed by 1 year of supervised release for filing fraudulent insurance claims related to a staged auto accident. You can see the full issue and read about more convictions at the blog link in the blog. Then there's a baseball card scam, a fictionalized true crime story of insurance fraud from my experience as an insurance fraud expert and investigator and lawyer, and is provided to explain why insurance fraud is a heads-I-win, tails-you-lose situation for insurers. The story is true, only the names and places were changed to protect the guilty. And then there's an article on QI-TAM and insurance fraud, where the QI-TAM portion of the California Insurance Fraud Prevention Act, like that in many other states, has a QI-TAM provision that allows an insurer to sue on behalf of the state to obtain judgments against fraud perpetrators. And finally, we ask you to subscribe to my Locals or Substack publications and my Locals community, and wish you to note that you can subscribe to the blog and have access to the more than 4,500 blog posts, or you could subscribe to the video on rumble.com or youtube.com, and if you do, I'd appreciate it if you click on the like button or the thumbs up button. And if you found these videos and or blog posts to be useful to you, please tell your friends and colleagues so that they can also subscribe. And if you wish further detail about insurance fraud, and insurance claims, consider subscribing for a very small fee to my Locals community and or my Substack publications. Thank you for your attention.